snow event, pretty big out west, and you can see that the wintry travel is going to make for more snow. As it spreads eastward, we are going to see snow expanding over the states of Iowa and Minnesota. North of Des Moines especially, we'll pick up several inches of snow, it appears, as we go through the day Saturday. And we still got a little snow here Saturday around Richmond. We had a little snow there today. You know, they're thinking spring in Richmond. You folks are thinking about NASCAR perhaps. We got a NASCAR race scheduled for Sunday, but this weather not conducive for racing, especially auto racing, maybe snowmobile racing, but not auto racing. So they'll have to maybe, you know, may have to change their plans a little bit here. We'll see what the forecast is. As we go through the Sunday night or Saturday night hour, the snow does end here, so perhaps Sunday when the race is going on we'll have some better weather. The forecast rather showing we'll have a pretty good band of snow set up here in the upper Midwest. Also out west, pick a mountain, any mountain, you'll see snow. No problems here, that is for sure. Let's put some clouds into motion. Let's talk about what's going on out there right now. Boy, when you talk about clouds, you talk about a lot of clouds here, all the way from one coast to the other. There's a corridor of clear skies, and that will start to shrink during the day. It's already shrinking, but during the day on Sunday, or Saturday rather, it will be diminishing to almost nothing. Here's a quick check of the national radar. Still some rain, freezing rain, sleet and snow, a little bit of everything here in the southeast. Traveling may be tricky there in North, South Carolina, up into Virginia. Even parts of Maryland seeing a few showers. Well, that's moving out as this moisture is moving through the west, so it looks like it'll be another wet day in parts of the west. Let's check the forecast here. States snow's becoming pretty widespread here in the upper Midwest, rain's redeveloping, and temperatures winter to the north, spring to the south. Someday it'll be spring everywhere. We'll check the Traveler's Update next.
I was raised in a...
Accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Current regional conditions. Special regional information. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Region's long-range outlook. The regional forecast. The extended forecast. Local radar showing any precipitation and its movement during the past 90 minutes. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
This storm will move out of the Rockies into the plains, and eventually the Gulf of Mexico will open up for business. That'll bring moisture in. That moisture will overrun the cold air because the cold air is denser, so it kind of just sits there and holds its surface, holds its ground at the surface. The warm air is lighter, so it goes up and over. And as we force air up in the atmosphere, it cools, and as a result of the cooling process, condensation, clouds form, and then we get the snowfalls. Not a whole lot tonight, but not at least in this part of the world. Your snows will arrive tomorrow from Rapid City to Minneapolis, at least the heavier snow, but a whole lot of snow now tallying up in the Rockies of Montana, Idaho, the Wasatch. It's snowing pretty hard, and eventually later on tonight in Colorado. And we've had some snow back east around Richmond and Roanoke. In those places, though, it's just primarily sticking to the grassy surfaces and the car tops. Earlier in the week, we had snows in the San Juans of Colorado. It's warmed up, or it will be melting shortly. So watch your travel as the snows move off to the east Saturday and Saturday night. Minneapolis, St. Paul, Des Moines, you'll probably get a mixture of freezing rain, sleet, and snow. And right now the thinking is in Chicago that it's primarily not going to be a snow event, but you may have some problems, especially going up the lakefront towards Milwaukee as the snows return to the Sierra of California Saturday night and Sunday. There's your forecast.
Current regional conditions. Special list from the National Weather Service. Your region's long-range outlook. The regional forecast. Extended forecast. Your local radar showing any precipitation and its movement during the past 90 minutes. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen. From the Weather Channel. Current regional conditions. Special regional information. Local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Region's long-range outlook. The regional forecast. The extended forecast. Your local radar showing any precipitation and its movement during the past 90 minutes. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
20 past Saturday morning. We have a really busy weather pattern to talk about. Let's get to it first. The satellite picture, a water vapor loop. Sort of we can get our bearings here looking on the coast of California, and we're looking at several features. First of all, look at this low here. That's a curl in the clouds indicating where there's an area of low pressure. There's also an upper level low that's moving out of Idaho across Wyoming, prompting some snow advisories in effect this morning for the bighorns. And then we have another big swirl of moisture coming in. So one low after another. Our Pacific parade continues as we watch one storm system after another take aim at the west coast. What's going to happen here is you're going to see, like around Salt Lake City, you saw a burst of a quick 2 inches of snow. Then you're going to get a break this afternoon, and then the next system is going to come rolling along, and the moisture is traveling right along the southern branch of the jet stream. So we're getting one low after another combining with some cold air, and we're going to see heavy snows from Montana all the way back in through the UP of Michigan. Here's the scenario. There's the cold air. So the northern branch of the jet stream is allowing the colder air to come in. Here comes one area of low pressure, the upper level low, still hanging back across Wyoming. And then we talked about the next low that's going to come in, swinging into California by late in the afternoon, maybe a few spits of rain around San Francisco, and rains will increase by Sunday morning. We'll see moisture increasing up around St. Louis, and as this frontal system dips off to the south, we could maybe see a band of freezing rain early Sunday morning around Chicago and back on through Burlington, Iowa, before everything changes over to snow as the colder air builds in. So it is quite a complicated forecast. We have the cold air, and we have the moisture, and we have the clouds and kind of ugly weather across the southeast to deal with. It is going to be cold once again. We're going to have blizzard-like conditions up across parts of South Dakota. We're talking about northeasterly winds that are going to be gusting to 30 and 40 miles an hour with snow and blowing snow around, so be careful. Bitterly cold. If you've got to do some traveling, make sure your winter travel gear is roared up and ready to go, because it is going to be needed if you get stranded. Temperature-wise, we're going to warm up across the south this week for once, and it looks like, though, it's going to be a very soggy week across the south. The warmer temperatures are going to come with a price. You're going to have to deal with the rain showers. All right, one system moves to the eastern seaboard on Sunday, bringing heavy snow to the UP. Here comes the next system very quickly, barreling across the mountains, bringing more snow to Minnesota. This one moves to the eastern seaboard on Tuesday, and it looks like finally by Wednesday, things start to quiet down. The upper Midwest, that will become more widespread. We have snow throughout the Colorado Rockies, still winter storm warnings up for the Rockies and also back across the Wasatch Range. A quick 2 inches of snow picked up around the Salt Lake City area. Raining in Seattle down through Portland. Snows will pick up through Montana today. And we have rain and snow mixing in across the mid-Atlantic with snow extending up around New York City and Danbury, Connecticut. All right, a few stops. The first stop takes us off, shows us it's mostly rain now around Raleigh and Durham and on through Cape Hatteras. Richmond, light snow. Up around Charlottesville, it is light snow. And we've had a little bit of freezing drizzle around Greenville, Spartanburg, and on up through the Charlotte area. It's been mostly rain, so kind of a messy mixture here. Light snow, JFK, LaGuardia, extending on up through the Connecticut area. Very light snow, not expecting really any accumulations. Visibilities aren't all that bad. And we have rain, some heavier rains right now around Alexandria, Louisiana, and the moisture will increase across the South and the mid-Mississippi Valley. We'll talk about that next.
Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. Accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Current regional conditions. Special regional information. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Region's long-range outlook. The regional forecast. The extended forecast.
Very strict rules.